So hello guys, it's Tuketheduke here again. And the last video I made about this bike was more of a walk around, where I just showed the features of the bike. So I thought I'd do more of a review kind of opinion slash thingy about the bike. Like what I like about it and what I don't. So I just go into this side. So I'll start with the upright seating position, and I quite like it for riding in town. It's easy on your back, and then you can see pretty well over the handlebars and across to other cars, and that gives you confidence when you're driving around in the city. If you're riding on the motorway with an upright seating position, it's not as good because the wind resistance comes into your chest area, so you sort of have to go down a bit, but it's not such a big problem. And then while we're at it, the seat, it's not too bad. It's pretty comfortable, sort of gel thing. And the passenger's seat is pretty spacious, and these bars are good to hold on to. They're pretty strong. When the passengers sit in there, they enjoy it. And the pegs are good for the passenger as well. The legs aren't too bent. So I'm about 170 centimeters, and this bike is pretty much the right fit for me. For a taller rider, it might be a bit more of a struggle, because your legs might hit the tank, and the pedals, the pegs, they are quite far spaced back, so you might get a bit cramped. But for about my size, it's pretty good. And I've done about 125 kilometers per hour top speed on this bike, and that was downhill, and that was maxed out about 10,000 revs. So that's about as fast as it goes. If you're cruising around 100 kilometers, then the revs in 6th gear are about 8,000. So it screams a bit, and it's not really optimized for touring or stuff, but around the city it's pretty agile. It's good. I like it. And I just like the looks of the bike. It looks like a bigger bike, which is true. You can get the bike in a 250, a 200cc and a 390cc. So one of the complaints I've had so far, well, not a complaint, but what I've had, it is that the brakes sort of squeal or squeak when you brake down on them, but only the front brake. Back brake is okay, but that's not a big problem. They can fix that in the services. And the service intervals are at 5,000 kilometers. So the first one was at 1,000 kilometers, and you should have done your braking by that, going slowly, not accelerating too much. But then they're pretty quickly at the services, so every 5,000 kilometers. And the ABS brakes give a bit of reassurance when you're driving on the roads. So you know that you're not going to fall off if you're driving in the wet and have to do an emergency brake. I haven't had to do many, well, none actually, which is a good thing. So, but they do work. They come on in the right time, not too early, not too late. And another thing I've noticed is that the neutral is pretty difficult to find. So coming in from the first into neutral, that's pretty difficult to get, but coming in from 2nd gear into neutral is a lot easier. So sometimes it might be a hassle, but it's not too bad. And the tank is about 11 liters, so you can get about 350 kilometers per one tank, and the average fuel consumption is 2.5 liters or something like that, depending on how much you accelerate. And I also really like the underbelly exhaust, because you can heat your leg on it, so you don't burn your leg. You don't have to worry about it. and it's also good for the passenger, because another motorbike, the exhaust is like right here or up here, so you might accidentally burn your leg on it if you're not experienced, but you don't have to worry about it on this. It's just tucked away pretty nicely under the bike, and it looks pretty sleek as well. I've enjoyed that. And another thing I think is cool about the bike are the LED indicators and the LED backlight. So if we look here, there's like 10 LEDs that light up, and if we press the rear brake, then we can see that the other 5 on the bottom light up, and that's pretty cool. I like LEDs, and the same things with the indicators. There's 3 LEDs there. And if I'm driving and I have to press the clutch down, then it's sometimes a bit of a reach to get the indicators, so you have to sort of go up, but that's not a big problem. And then sometimes I accidentally press the horn when I'm trying to go for the indicators, because I'm just used to the indicators being there. Again, not a big problem. Also 2.1 liters per 100 is my average for the fuel consumption, so not too bad. And another thing I've noticed, that if you're driving in the wet, then there's no rear sort of thing here to stop, like another one of these, to stop the water from going into the shock. So you're driving around, and then the water gathers up and then just throws onto the exhaust and to the shock. So they're usually pretty dirty when you're driving in the wet. And I opted out for the sort of shorter license plate. I think it's a lot cleaner, and it's metal. It's a bit lighter than the normal one, so I think it adds a good addition to the bike. And that's about all I've modified it with the KTM power parts. Yeah, but I think that's about it. It's a pretty good bike. No bigger complaints. And if you're looking at for a starter bike, then this is pretty good. So thanks for watching, and see you later, guys. Peace.